Hi, my name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman & Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan. And today we're continuing our video series designed to educate and inform the public, so please subscribe to our channel. Today, in keeping with our discussions regarding different processes, we're going to talk about alimony or spousal support and the process that the court uses to determine who gets alimony or who gets spousal support. Everybody was used to calling it alimony. Attorneys have been calling it spousal support for a while, but this is support for the other spouse as a distinct from support for the child. So the court, only the court can determine what the alimony number is and who's going to get it. The parties can submit a proposed order of what they think it should be, and if both parties agree, sometimes the court will say, okay, if you agree, then I'll agree. But absent that, the court is going to make the determination. In determining alimony, the court is going to look at certain general factors. Factor number one is going to be, how long are the parties married? You got to be married to get alimony. If you're not married, you're not getting alimony. But how long are you married? The longer the marriage, and let's say it's a 30-year marriage, then on that spectrum of who gets, who doesn't, it's likely that the court will order some alimony subject to other factors. On a shorter term marriage, it's less likely, and in marriage in between, it's in between likely. Aside from the duration of the marriage, the court asks this question: well, how much money do the respective parties make? In other words, in a situation where it's a long-term marriage and there's a great disparity of income because husband makes much more money than the wife, so she is not able to support herself in the same way as she used to because the husband's income is now gone because of the divorce, in that circumstance determine that alimony is appropriate. Big disparity of income, long-term marriage. But you have to look at those factors sort of in tandem. In other words, if it's a very short-term marriage but a big disparity of income, again, less likely that the court's going to order alimony in that scenario versus a long-term marriage and a huge difference in income. The third factor basically is there are disposable assets available to pay it. In other words, sometimes, given the obligations of the parties, maybe they lived high on the hog and they owe everybody money, so every penny that they have is going toward bills or going toward other living expenses or going to the needs of the child or something else. It is, I guess, theoretically possible that there could be a long-term marriage with a lot of money, but simply no fund out of which to pay the alimony, given other obligations. I think like this: when you look at alimony, the main thing you gotta get over is the notion that, well, we're getting divorced, therefore I want alimony. It's a little more complicated than that as the court sees it. The court will look at factors. The factors are going to be duration-based in terms of the investment you put in the marriage. That's going to factor in how much the court thinks you're entitled. It's also going to be need-based. Because, you know, if one person's making $50,000, the other making $100,000, and there's a long-term marriage, that's a big disparity of income. And the court might order over the course of a year $25,000 in alimony so that they both have $75,000 to live off of. This is just a general process of how the court works. If you have any questions about your particular case, reach out and we'll be glad to help you out.